This is Noah West, and you're listening to Off the Ice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode, another season of Off the Ice as we get season number 2 started with the first episode of the 2024-2025 Ferris State hockey year. Brody Kaiser and Beth McKinney with you as always, and we are very excited to be bringing you another season of Off the Ice. It feels like it's been such a long time since we've been on the mic, and Beth, you and I were just talking before the show that kind of maybe forgot how to do this, but here we are throwing back in and super excited for what we got for season 2. Should be an amazing year of not only Ferris State hockey, but also the show.
Yeah, I was getting my questions prepared and trying to figure out, like what we wanted to ask Noah, things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a little rusty. Like, had to start Googling some questions and get back into the groove of trying to be creative. So, no, excited to be back though.
Should be an amazing season of Off the Ice. We have a ton of new players on the team, so can't wait to introduce all the guys to everyone out there listening. Be sure to catch the episodes on Sunny 97.3 Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. and then the releases on YouTube and Spotify as well Wednesday mornings to stay up to date with everything Off the Ice and to meet all these new guys because we have a very exciting team ahead for Ferris State hockey this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with so many new guys. So all these first episodes, you guys are going to meet everyone new to the team, and then hopefully we'll be able to bring it back and have our returners and do some fun things with it. So stay tuned for all of that.
Super excited, but let's go ahead and get season 2, episode 1 started. Off the Ice with Noah West. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Ice. We're very excited to be back, bringing you season 2 now of the show. Beth, it feels like it's been a long time, longer than maybe we would like to have been since we had an episode, but we're super happy to be back.
Heck yeah, feels good. Got some exciting things planned for this year, so excited to be back.
Well, exciting things to be planned for sure when you have so many new guys on the team. Basically, half of our team is brand new, including our guest today for the first episode of the show, Noah West. Noah, thanks so much for being on the podcast with us.
Thanks for having me.
So you come over to Ferris State from the University of Michigan, where you spent a couple of seasons. Go ahead and talk about that experience playing with the U of M over on the east side of the state, and then as you made your decision to come here to Ferris State.
Yeah, so I was at Michigan for 3 years. I spent my freshman year at Robert Morris, and then ended up at Michigan for the last 3. Was interesting 3 years, that's for sure. The first year was really good. Played with a bunch of great guys, great team, great coaching staff, and then some stuff changed my second year and third year, and it was okay. Wasn't my ideal situation, but you learn and grow as a person and mature. And so definitely was able to take a lot of life lessons out of that and things I feel like, I'll be able to bring here to Ferris State and succeed this year.
Talk about your experience going from Robert Morris to U of M. Of course, that was probably a pretty big shift moving from out there to Michigan.
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump, going from Robert Morris freshman year Atlantic to the Big Ten of Michigan. You go from playing with some older guys at Robert Morris, and then you go to playing with some younger guys like Owen Power, Matty Beniers, Luke Hughes, Thomas Bordelot, Brendan Marsan, and it's crazy. It's not like a skill level difference. It's more of just how guys play the game.
Sure.
And the patience and everything. It's adjustment for sure, and I found that out my first year at Michigan that there's a big adjustment period going from Robert Morris to Michigan, but I think all in all it helped me kind of carve out my game and make it more mature and more professional.
So last hockey question for you before we kind of move away from that side of your life. And I want to touch on what you just talked about is that experience and that maturity. This Ferris State team is pretty young. I mean, obviously a big freshman class, a lot of sophomores, juniors on this team, but you're a guy that has played a lot of college hockey. So how do you see your role sort of fitting in on this Ferris State team as what projects to be potentially the starting goaltender?
Yeah, I think, being a leader on and off the ice, especially with some of the young guys, showing them kind of the ropes and kind of helping them make the adjustment process easier, because the easier we can kind kind of get them to transition into college hockey, the better off we're going to be on the ice. So if we like everywhere I've been, it's talking about it. We got to have the freshmen pretty much sophomores by Christmas time, and the sooner we can get them kind of in the system, buying in, and everyone pulling on the same rope together, the better the product will be on the ice. And at the end of the day, that's how we'll produce the results. So just kind of coming in, being a leader, just being a voice, being somebody that, the guys can lean on, because I've been in, this is my 5th year in college. So I've been around for, a while now in college hockey. So just kind of being there for the guys, any questions any of the young guys might have, or, we got 2 freshman goalies, so anything they might have in terms of play, or, how I read situations, stuff like that. So kind of just being open-minded, and, whatever information, they want, I'm always there to answer questions.
Got to have the freshmen be sophomores by Christmas time. I like that a lot. That's a good quote for you there. All right, now we'll move away from hockey, and I'll kick it over to Beth. You can take it away. I'm sure you have some fun questions.
I won't go too hard, too quickly. So obviously being a transfer here, our followers, our listeners probably don't know a whole lot about you. So why don't you just start by giving us a background of yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, kind of things like that.
Yeah, so I'm originally born in Syracuse, New York, and then when I was fairly young, my family moved to Indianapolis. We've been there for the last 22, 23 years. I moved there when I was 1, so 23 years. I got 2 brothers. They both play. My middle brother, Evan, he's playing his first year at UNLV for their club hockey program. And then my youngest brother, Owen, is in his freshman year at Michigan State. So
nice.
Playing there. Yeah. So it sucks we don't play them this year in the GLI, but, maybe we'll see them down the road in playoffs or something like that. That would be pretty cool. And then, I got my mom and dad, they're back in Indiana, and then got 3 dogs, 2 German Shepherds and a Birdie Doodle, and pretty much a small town in Indiana where life's good.
Good. So, sorry about to cut you off, but is there a pretty good, healthy rivalry in your family between the Michigan and Michigan State fans there?
Yeah, it was pretty heavy when I was at Michigan, because I was at Michigan for a year, and then he committed to Michigan State, and so yeah, it was pretty divided. I'd say I'm, pretty big supporter of his this year. I want to see him do well. So, as much as I'm a Michigan grad, I'd like to see my brother do well on the ice, and see what they can do. But yeah, there's between the 3 of us growing up, there's always a rivalry. Everyone, we're always competing to be better than each other, and I think it's been good because where we come from, there's not a lot of hockey, so we push each other, and I think that's allowed us to have the success and get to where we've been, today.
Awesome.
You just said, where you grew up, there wasn't a whole lot of hockey. So what got you guys all into hockey? Like, what got you guys, started with that?
So my dad played hockey growing up, played in college. He played like 3rd string, 4th string goalie for somebody out, played college hockey or whatever. But he's kind of the guy who got us into hockey. And then he ended up quit playing hockey and, focused on racing. He's big into auto racing, and that's where I get it from as well. And he went that path, but when me and my brothers were young, he had us on the ice and kind of was like, if you guys want to play, you can play. And we all 3 took a liking to it and kind of ran with it.
So you've lived in a lot of different areas, obviously, on the East Coast for different parts of your life, but then also Indiana, Michigan. What's been your favorite thing about the East Coast and favorite thing about the, Northeastern Midwest, I guess?
Yeah, so I haven't lived on the East Coast for a while. This is, I think, year 9 that I've been out of Indy. So I was in Chicago for a couple of years, and I came to Detroit, played U18s for a team over in Troy area, and then I was out to play juniors in Jamestown, New York, and then down to Pittsburgh for Robert Morris. That was pretty fun. Ann Arbor's it's a neat city. There's a lot of fun things to do. And then, coming here to Big Rapids, it's a big change from Ann Arbor to here. But I'm not a big city guy. I like, small town, I like farmland, like country. Like that's just, it's where I come from. So I'd have to say like the Midwest area is probably, where my favorite part to be. It's just more freedom. I feel like you don't have to, constrained to all the stuff in the big city and, follow all the laws and stuff like that. I'd rather be able to hang out and do my thing.
Sure. Well, the big city vibe, definitely don't get that here. So that's good for you to be in Big Rapids.
How's the transition been from, playing Big Ten to now getting ready to start playing with Ferris? I mean, they're two very different schools, two very different atmospheres. So how's that transition been for you?
It's been good. We have a really good coaching staff here with, Coach Bob, Sens, Koff, and Pham. And we have a really good group of guys. The transition's been, I feel like, seamless. It's just kind of been one that you just, it's your last year of college hockey, and it's just kind of your, go have fun, enjoy it. You don't really put too much pressure on yourself. You just go stop the puck, and that's kind of the philosophy I'm taking to this year is just, enjoy every minute of it and, stop every puck and, enjoy the guys you're around every day, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's to come after this year, or, could this be your last year? You don't know. So it's just, enjoy the run while you can and see where we end up.
Talk a lot about the maturity that you have grown into over your years of college hockey and going into your 5th season. This is probably a little bit of a different situation, just considering how many new guys are on this Ferris State team, including yourself. So what are some of the things that you guys, and you particularly as one of the veterans on this team, have tried to do team chemistry-wise, maybe off of the ice, to try to build some of that rapport?
Yeah, I mean, when we first got here in August, it was a good, like they call it preseason camp, I think, here. So it was a good 2 or 3 weeks where, we were always together. We were at the rink, working out, skating, meals at the Rock where everybody was there, team bonding events. I think, our leadership group and everyone has done a really good job of getting everyone together and getting us all kind of gelling before, the first week of October. And I think that's where, you'll see success as if, everyone continues to pull on that same rope.
Yeah, for sure.
So our listeners are not going to know this, but I know this because I'm around you guys every day. You and your roommate, Jacob Dirks, have come quite the duo.
Yeah.
So give us a little rundown of the day in the life of you and Jacob Dirks. This was a request that I asked this question.
Yeah, so we're the two old guys pretty much. We're the 2 5th years, so we don't have a ton to do in school, so we get quite bored. So we'll go to practice and stuff in the morning, take care of stuff around here, take care of practice, take care of our bodies after practice. But we go home and we have some lunch, and then both got our recliners, and we sit in our recliners for probably too much time. We probably need to get up and, go for a walk or something, but we sit there and, sometimes we'll throw on some movies. A couple weeks ago we had, I think, 4 days in a row where we watched a movie, and then play some Xbox, play some NHL and stuff like that. And then usually it's dinner time, and then we sit back down for a little bit longer, and then it's off to bed. But no, we definitely need to find something to take up some more time, because when December and January get here and it's pretty cold, we're not going to want to go outside. So maybe we should, go outside now when it's nicer out. But maybe that's something me and Dirks will talk about.
I mean, that is a good idea.
But on the other hand, if you're practicing your reclining skills now, by the time it gets cold out, you won't really, have much room to grow.
Right. The cushion will be ready for us.
Exactly. So what type of movies, if you guys throw something on, are you going to watch?
Let's see. We watched Mall Cop the other day. We watched Big Daddy, with a bunch of Adam Sandler movies.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Big Daddy, Benchwarmers, Step Brothers. So just some comedy, fun stuff that we sit there and laugh and, make jokes and hang out.
So the goofy, stupid type of humor, the good type of humor.
Yeah, you got to fill our time with something. So
Sure. Yeah.
They like to sit in the AT room after practice and discuss what movie they're going to put on for their 2:00 afternoon movie.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in that athletic trainer's room. So shout out to McKinsey for taking care of us, because, it's a long year. So she takes care of us. And while we're in there after practice, we discuss, what our afternoon looks like. And it's usually not very much.
So you say that you guys are looking for something to do, like go for a walk, but do you have some hobbies that you usually try to get up to? I know you said you're kind of an outdoor person. You like the farmland. Do you hunt, fish, anything like that?
No, outside of hockey, I'm very big into auto racing. So like during the summer, stuff like that, I'm usually working on race cars or at a racetrack, and coming here, I don't have my race cars or racetracks here, so it's kind of hard to figure out what to do with my time. But, my buddy back home, he's still running the team and running the car right now. So usually talk to him a couple days a week and, just make sure everything's still going in circles. But outside of that, not much. I don't have the patience to fish. Don't have the patience to hunt. So But, there's a good yard project or something, I'm not afraid to go out and do that. But we don't have that when you're living at Oakwood, so can't complain. Sure.
So if you guys don't have practice, what's your ideal day off look like? What are you gonna do with your day off?
Lots of reclining, right?
Other than reclining?
Probably not a whole lot. We'll probably come to the rink even if it's a day off. We like the sauna, so we'll come sauna and probably try to kill some time here, but probably not much more than, hanging out in the recliners or getting food or, watching a movie, doing something that's, we don't do much outside of the rink. So probably a lot of reclining.
You kind of talk about you don't really have much going on, but being a Division I college athlete is very taxing. And you also are still a student going into a master's program. So just sort of talk about the balance that you've been able to strike as being an athlete, being a student, and then also having time to kind of do your relaxing now that you're in your 5th year.
Right. I think that's all things you learn, in the first 4 years, and then I'm in a master's certificate, so it's not as heavy as, an MBA or a master's program. So, that was kind of my thing, coming here was, let's kind of keep it light on school. And that way we can focus on, hockey. We can, we're here to play hockey this year. And that was kind of my whole plan is, come here, play hockey and, see where the chips fall, where they fall. And so school balance, it's nice that, we're able to have everything, a lot of stuff online. So makes that balance pretty easy. So yeah, I'd say it's just, it's habits and time management stuff you learn, over the first 4 years that allows you to be able to relax and enjoy it a little bit more your 5th year.
Yeah, definitely. I got one more question for him real quick, Beth. Sorry. What do you think your future holds? What are you hoping to do after this year? I know you're focused obviously right now so much on hockey and playing for Ferris State. But what do you want to try to do in the next couple of years? Everybody wants to play professionally, but there comes a time where that's not really an option. So it's just kind of, see how this year goes and, see what options I have professionally. And if there's a right option or not, then, we'll take it. But just enjoying this year and seeing what happens. And then after that, we'll see. But if not, I'll end up, go work somewhere, work on a race team, work on race cars, do something. So just kind of going, taking this year and, enjoying it and seeing where everything goes. Awesome. Okay, Beth, go ahead.
What's been your biggest challenge that you've had to overcome playing college hockey?
That's a good one, but there's some things I can say and can't say, so I'll just try to keep it. I'd have to just say battling through, my last 2 years in Michigan and the mental stuff, they didn't really go how I wanted, and you're told one thing and they do the other. So just kind of, you learn who your friends are, you learn who your enemies are fairly quickly in college. And I learned that, and, just kind of, you learn who respects you and who you can respect and who you can give your trust to, and that's kind of what the biggest learning curve is I've had is, you figure out who you can trust. And I figured that out pretty quick the last 2 years.
All right, Beth, what else you got for him? Anything else from the people that they want to know?
Yes, someone asked, what is your favorite aspect of the Ferris hockey program?
Good question.
Just the attention to detail. We got a coaching staff that's very invested in the program. They're very invested in player development. So I just say the overall day-to-day, investment in, us as hockey players, but us as people. I think that, goes a long way. Some programs don't have the ability to have, some of the stuff that, the coaches have here. So the investment from them into us is probably one of the, best aspects.
So I know it's been a while since we've done one of these shows, but Beth, if we all remember, is very famous for asking some difficult questions. And I feel like we haven't really asked you anything super hard yet. So let's go ahead and get one of the classic toughies out here for him.
All right. Who has been one of the most influential people in your life, and what have they done to impact you?
One, my dad, my mom and dad, they're pretty big. They played a lot in my life. They invest a lot of time and, money into my career. So I'd have to say them. And then my goalie coach, Jamie Morris, back home, he as well has invested a lot of time and effort into me as a player. So probably those three people have been the biggest, kind of supporters, people, they've been on my side the whole time. So I'd have to say those three people.
You've talked a lot about so far just the relationship that you have with your parents, your brothers, how you like a tight-knit community. Talk about just you as yourself being a family man, a man built on friendships and those sort of close relationships, how that's affected you throughout your life.
It's been good and bad. We like to keep our bullseye small. So who you can let in and who you can't. And I think it's, being from a small town, I feel like that has a lot to do with it. Yeah. You have your people, and that's pretty much all you have because there's not very many other people around. So I think it's been good. It's allowed me to see some other parts of, the world and see some other, different cultures, different people. So, that's been a learning curve and, figuring out, how other people like to be talked to or, ways that you come across, stuff like that. So you have your people who, they know how you are, they know how you come across, and, you might see someone and you say something and you come across as, rude or arrogant or whatever. But really that's just, just trying to figure out how other people, handle situations.
Sure. All right, Beth, before we wrap it up, you got anything else for them?
If you could give one piece of advice to any other kids that their dream is to continue playing hockey past high school, juniors, things like that, what advice would you give them?
Just have fun. Everyone puts a lot of pressure on themselves, but it's an opportunity to have that pressure and just enjoy it and have fun. The game of hockey is here for now, but it'll go on, when you're done. So enjoy it. We have, a great opportunity to play, what I think is one of the best sports in the world. So enjoy it as much as you can and have fun with the guys you're around, the brothers, and, take every day like it's the last, and, hopefully it's not the last, and, hopefully you can continue to play for as long as you can, but just, enjoying it, having fun, and just being a good person.
Was that a mindset that you've had most of your life, or did you sort of grow into that over your years of college hockey?
Yes and no. You have that because you play youth teams. Growing up playing youth, you don't know. Am I going to play with him again, or am I going to play with a whole different organization? So, yes and no. You get that, and then you go to college and you're with guys for 3-4 years. But yeah, you definitely you learn who your buddies are on the team and stuff like that pretty quickly in college.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the first episode of Season 2. Before we let you go, Noah, I like to ask this of every guy who comes on the show, and I know you haven't been around Big Rapids for too long, all things considered, but so far, what has it meant to you to be a Bulldog?
It's been great. I think there's a lot of passion and a lot of hard work in our room, and that's kind of the kind of guy I am. It's a hardworking blue collar team, and I love that mindset, and I think that'll it'll help us thrive this year.
Awesome. Great answer, Noah. And thanks so much for being willing to be the first episode of Season 2 on the show for us this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll be back next week with more Off the Ice.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Off the Ice. Make sure to follow us at Ferris Hockey on all of our socials to stay up to date with all of our stuff going on this season. And then to catch all of our newest episodes of Off the Ice, make sure to follow Ferris Athletics on Spotify and YouTube. New this year, we're going to be taking your guys' questions and asking the guys those questions on the podcast. So every Monday, I'll be posting an Instagram story where you guys can leave questions. And then the next morning when we're recording these, we'll ask the guys. So look out for those Instagram stories. Drop your questions. We'll ask them. Hopefully it'll be pretty fun. So thank you guys for all the support for the show, and go Bulldogs.